Hi, I am Hayden. This is Vanpla. I am your co-host.
And hi, I'm Dan. I'm your other co-host from
And Dan, you
Vanpla.
sound a little fucked today.
You know, sometimes we all have days where we're a little fucked, you know.
Okay, that's too personal, buddy. Back off, all right? You don't know me like that.
I don't know you like that. No, I don't. And I don't know our listeners like that, so...
Listeners? What are you talking about? There's no one who listens to this garbage.
Yeah, who wants to listen to two like guys in their 20s who sound almost exactly the same except for today.
My god. Yeah. We'll make god, that's so sad. Everyone was like there's a shout outs to Jonathan. He's like one of the guys down by Side 6.
Nice.
And he was like, so which one are you? Are you the fucking guy, that one? Are you the fucking the other one? And I'm like, I'm the guy that hates everything. He's like, yeah, but you guys like, you guys both hate shit. And just like, maybe we should get eventually we're gonna get guests, and then maybe that way
you'll see.
That way the podcast would actually turn into two people podcast.
Instead of the one
it's a conspiracy.
Now.
We're actually
clones.
schizophrenics. Actually, no. You think it's a clone. That's your schizophrenics talking, man. I'm actually dual personality. So I go.
You go.
Yeah, see?
Oh God.
We're actually just one person. And this is an act the entire fucking time.
Yeah, if you're a talent recruiter, recruit us, me.
We're a tag team duel that is one individual.
Exactly.
It's fucking stupid. But yeah, Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I getting a
if you guys heard a thump, he just threw a hat.
I threw my hat at my backpack and I missed because I'm a fucking scrub.
Yeah.
I'm doing well, all things considered. Still, I haven't been doing a lot of building lately, but that's just because I've been renovating my building space to be better.
Yeah, I saw that you got a new lamp from like IKEA and shit.
We've got
I got that lamp too.
Yeah,
that lamp's good, right?
Really good value for money. I've got so many lamps. It's like I can make my table look like it's daylight at like
that's
like
awesome. I need more lamps. But I'm running out of space to clamp them. Yeah. So I was thinking like I want to do photography for my model kits, and where you just have like a giant poster backdrop, right?
Yep.
And then with the backdrop, then you can just simulate like a bunch of different things, right? And I heard like putting wax paper onto like parchment paper, cooking paper, like onto the light bulbs, it'll diffuse it a little bit.
Yes, it does.
And it's been great, but the thing is, I need a second lamp because I heard you need 3 light sources, right?
Three light sources is like that way you can hit it from different angles.
Yeah.
And that way like you're not washing out one end with like really bright whites, and then the other end is like you want a very gradual gradation. And like I like to shoot in RAW photography. Yeah. Which is like you can't just open it.
I can't open RAW. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna use JPEGs instead.
At least use JPEG fine or JPEG.
Oh yeah, no, it's on max.
Oh thank God.
I'm not some like 4:3 aspect ratio like 480 by
whatever.
Whatever,
Oh jeez.
But I feel like I get impatient with my photography. I just want to rush it out there and get it done. But then after I wait on it, I sit on it for like a week. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I want to redo those photos, but I don't think I'll ever get to it.
Oh yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I want to look into like a getting a new DSLR for photos and videography stuff. Because I have a Nikon D90 and it's right at that middle generation of Nikons where it can use like older lenses, but it can also like run the newer ones.
That's perfect.
I also got it because it can record video.
Yeah.
But the problem is the video it records is at like 480.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What's your megapixel? I know mine's 18, but these new fucking... Did you see that new Samsung phone?
Yeah.
It's like
Holy
ultra
shit.
mega stupid. It's like you zoom in at max and it's still crystal clarity, right?
I think
it's overkill.
The thing is they're like doing new things with the lenses because they conventionally with smartphones, when you zoom in, you're compressing the photo.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
I think I just want lenses with extreme f-stop, so it would just focus on the Gundam itself and diffuse the background on its own, right?
Exactly. I think we can provide resources and stuff for good miniature photo setups.
The only guy I've seen that does at least on Reddit, the only guy who posted a tutorial that was pretty good was the Satanism.
Gotcha.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay, he does pre-shading and stuff like that. And he built a photo booth.
Okay.
And it's pretty nice.
Nice.
It's inexpensive. And then I know that Hobby Japan also has like segments to show how to build like your own little ghetto booth using only Daiso products or something like that. I need to find that article, but
dude, I really gotta. Now I want to build a photo booth with Daiso products.
That's the issue, right? It's like if you allocate space for a photo booth, your workshop space decreases dramatically.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so
my thing
I don't know
is,
if I want to do that.
If I can just keep my table clean enough, and then put the set the paper up, have something that I can set up and put away. Yeah, I think that would, we both live in kind of confined spaces, our workshop is like in our room, I think, right?
I was talking to the Secret Boys chat.
Secret, okay.
Well, not really, but
so secret. I'm not in it.
I was talking to the other GBWC winners, right? The Canada guys.
Gotcha.
And some of them, they don't have the space to build at home, so they make everything portable, right? So I started modularizing my tool set. So now most of my building is actually just like 2 boxes, one to hold the
kit.
The kit actually will fit into the toolbox, my little tools section area.
Nice.
And then the other box is like plot plates and like scrap pieces of plastic.
Nice.
And then, I go to a Vanpla meeting, and then I would just be able to build there, and I think I get a lot of work done like that.
Yep.
But being at home is just...
I'm beginning to find a modular setup because I've had to move around a lot recently.
Yeah.
And I got this like document holder from Daiso that's like perfect size to throw your runners in. Oh, sorry, it's not Daiso anymore. It's a Mumo.
Oh, Momo? I think I'm just going to keep calling it Daiso. Yeah, it sounds so stupid.
It's Daiso, but with worse Daiso selection. Just please give me...
I think what they did was they did what every Japanese person does eventually, like corporations.
Yeah.
They try to do market research for the West, and then it fails horribly.
Yeah.
And then they rebrand it to an even dumber name. That's even harder to remember. I think Daiso is just easy.
You know who I think did it right in terms of Japanese companies was Nissan.
Nissan?
Because they came over to North America in the 70s, and they're like, all right, if these cars don't work out very well and we have to pull out and we want to come back to the market, we don't want to throw our best face out there, right? So we'll just call ourselves Datsun.
Oh, okay. Is that what happened?
Yeah, and the Datsuns are Nissans, but just for North America. But they put out some really, really good cars. Like the Fairlady 240Z is one of my favorite cars of all time. And it went toe to toe with muscle cars of the day because you could get European performance for a less than half the price.
I'm pretty sure. During that time there was definitely Japan was this economic power that really just enveloped the U.S. eventually. Just had a comeback, huge comeback.
The rise of Japanese cars really comes from
technologies. Even it's not just the cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Cameras,
I think the big thing that got the foot in the door for North America and people buying Japanese stuff is, it just works, but also you had stuff like the oil crisis happen, and the only cars that weren't like falling flat on their face because, damn, we can't just like throw more power because that burns more fuel. Fuel's too expensive now, you know. The only guys who really knew what they were doing were the Japanese automakers. You know, miniature trucks came by.
I felt like that was the same for all industries, right?
A lot of industries.
I think the prime example is the Transformers debacle, right? After the movie, they make their own. Like Americans decided to make their own Transformers, right?
Well, no, Transformers was like just throwing a story onto two.
No, I'm talking about the toy.
I know.
Specifically, right?
The toy line was America. Well, what happened after the movie was they tried to keep the show going, but America took it in a different direction, and eventually they dropped the show but kept putting out the toys. In Japan, they kept G1 going right up until like Beast Wars. And even then, they did their own stuff with Beast Wars in like the mid to late 90s.
Oh,
and
wow.
Hell, man. Like, there's a video out there. This one guy, Chris McFeely, I think his name is. He does the basics on Transformers. And he has a pretty in-depth video on the Japanese series. And just how... They
were called Transformers eventually, right?
Oh,
they got brought back, right? It's like a
when
they
the
US and it came back. It came back as Transformers, right?
Yeah. When Hasbro launched them as Transformers in the West, you know, Diaclone had like died, and they just re-released all the toys but called them Transformers. But because they had an actually
that must be confusing for casual consumers, like in Japan.
Yeah, but they had a lot of new...
this American cartoon, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An American cartoon animated by South Koreans who weren't paid enough. But no one in animation is. No one in animation is paid enough.
Cut. Well, yeah, that's true.
Hey, speaking of animators and not getting paid enough, saw the Sonic movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How was it?
Really fucking good, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I got that vibe from the trailer.
Yeah.
But
once they reanimated everything, it just feels
Was Knuckles in it? Was Tails in it? No, it was just Sonic. Oh, shit. Okay, all right, never mind. I'm not going to say anything.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Right.
Like, yeah, baby Sonic's in it.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you imagine though? Like Matt and I were talking. We're just like, could you imagine like baby Sonic with the old like horrifying Uncanny Valley face? We're both like, Jesus Christ.
I remember I saw the photo a long time ago. There's this cat that looks a lot like Tails.
Yeah.
But it's like a crackhead version. It looks like it was so.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he got put on the poster as well. That was so funny.
Oh my God.
I'm just glad that the movie's good.
Yeah.
It got delayed, right? Like for a year.
It got delayed. The studio of animators that worked on it were all laid off.
Right.
I hope they bring them back together, and give them like better working. Yeah, hopefully.
No. Ooh, no. No, that's not gonna happen.
Anyways, that's enough getting sidetracked. You want to talk about? Hey, we're the Vanpla cast. We should talk about some actual Vanpla stuff.
Yeah, I finished.
Ouch.
Jesus.
Ouch.
I finished up my double Zeta finally.
Nice.
Fucking
finally. Yeah.
Fucking finally.
Dude, the guns on that look sick, dude.
The guns are the barrels from the Palestinians' wings, and then it has barrels. My only regret is. Actually, I don't regret anything. I'm done with that thing. Nice. I'm like ready to just bounce. But it's done. I'll post some photos here, wherever, you know. Yeah. But yeah, the gun wasn't finished. It wasn't finished. Like I didn't even finish decaling for the Pacific Northwest show. So the Pacific Northwest show occurred on January 25th, and today's recording is February 22nd. So it's almost been a month since that show.
22nd already.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
2020 is just flying by.
Yeah.
But
it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like
God. We're almost like quarter way there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's scary.
You know what though?
Yeah.
Like, I remember our first episode. I was pretty concerned about my powerlifting competition coming up, and it was just like, oh, this is so far off. And then all of a sudden it came and it happened, and I was really nervous going in because I lost like 30 pounds.
You retained it, right? You retained your weight.
I retained. I stayed in the same weight class, but my new goal is to get into the weight class lower than mine. But it was really nice to know that despite losing that much weight, I didn't lose that much strength. You know,
that's good. Yeah.
It's really important to
remember. It's like it's always a recovery plan too, right? Exactly. Like if you lose your weight, if you get weaker, it's natural. You can always build that strength back up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, just babysitting. You know what I mean?
It was really
take your time.
It was really nice though, like seeing people notice it though. Like after you look in the mirror, you're like, what? You know, I remember like a few weeks ago, like was December, and I was like, bigger. Oh wait, yo, December was like a few months ago. What the fuck? Oh no, you know. It's just like, and people are like, damn, you look good. It's like, thanks. And, you know,
that's good.
I'm sad I missed the PWNS show. I've been pretty busy.
I didn't sleep that night.
Really?
Oh well, I got 1 hour, maybe 2 hours.
You napped basically. Then you didn't sleep.
Yeah, I was finishing up that piece of shit's Double Zeta, so I like, you know. I'm good, you know?
You're at that stage, that building where you're like, I'm done with this. Fuck this, whatever. But like, I mean, it looks good, man. I haven't finished anything yet. Leo is still a work in progress. But that's just, there's a lot of cleaning, putty, and sanding, and getting it ready for paint. And I mean, I know it's going to come out rough, but I'd rather it come out rough and finished by like the end of March.
That's a good segue that we'll talk about today. I think I've decided on our main topic as we're improvising this. And it's that advice thing that we'll talk about that
100%
in a little while.
But,
yeah, Pacific Northwest show. It was actually pretty neat.
Nice.
I think a couple podcasts before, actually no, just the last podcast.
Our last podcast.
Yeah, I was talking about how, you know, they weren't
the convention we would be at was kind of a you know.
It just took them a long time to reply to us. They don't really know what it was because I think there was some change in management. But you know what? Forget that part. Yeah. The day it was there, we ran smoothly. The only thing I wished we did was if we had like a bigger room, because they also fit in the workshop within that room. And when there are people doing a build off for 30-minute mission kits, everyone was in the goddamn room. It was crazy hectic. So but other than that, I think it went pretty well.
That's great.
Congratulations to Nathan Wong.
Yeah.
For winning the second Pacific Northwest show. Yeah. With his it was like a Sengoku ashtray.
Yeah.
Samurai ashtray.
We were. Funny thing is Nathan, Matt, and I were supposed to be like we were doing it as a group build.
Really? Was that
we
really
were
thing?
Gonna go under the name of like the Try Hard Triumvirate. You know, you know, because it's like, it's a Gundam Online, so we'll be the Try Hard guys, and we all did different kinds of Try Hard mobile suits. And like Nathan just cranked the teenager anime up to 11 on his build.
I feel like
he's really good at that though.
Nathan's good at making edgy teenage mobile suits, which is something I actually admire, because it does look cool. If I was to you know, see it in
the Leo
in the
was
show.
supposed to be for that, and the Leo was supposed to be like the tactical one, so I would be like the
you don't have enough Xeon soldiers, you know, in your guy.
Don't tell me that now. I'm gonna
and then you'll never finish.
Now I never will. No, I'm just gonna like,
wouldn't it be cool if like your squad guy he has like a backpack compartment, and it actually transforms into like a car, and then inside the car there's like Xeon soldiers, like they're ready for deployment.
Like he's already got a bit on the back where like the Leo's got its like rear thrusters. Is I've modified that so it can hold a drone from a 30-minute missions, and none of the thrusters.
Oh, it kind of reminds me of like those Grimmore drones.
Yeah.
You know the one from Build Diver? Wait, is it Divers?
Yeah, that's the Build Divers.
Oof. but yeah, that thing I saw was pretty cool. So it was clearly a Votom, like slap in the face or a big nod. I don't know which one it is.
I'd say big nod, because that
they made Chirico into a furry. So
it was the one.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, they made him into a furry, but like, I mean,
it's cute.
It's the one time in Build Fighters, Divers, anything that you had a team of real robot enthusiasts, and Bandai doesn't just like tell Sunrise to write the script, so they just like rip them a new one.
Yeah,
you know, like as someone who likes Gunpla for like real robot stuff, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
I was gonna say though, on that point of some kind of backpack thing, is at the IPMS swap meet, which we'll talk more in depth about, is I got a ground Gundam partially built. And that backpack.
Oh yeah.
Can slap it on there.
You got how much was it? You got the ground Gundam for the new revived version.
The revived ground Gundam.
$5.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So you know, I'm hoping while the weather's kind of a damp and humid here in Vancouver,
kind of sucks right now. Yeah.
But before it becomes like spray painting season, is I want to build and set up a spray booth that I can remove and like put in my place.
You also have to, I guess, worry a little bit about the noise, right? Too. It's like I hate building spray booths.
Yeah.
It's simply because I built one before, and you know what's cool? I just got like a shitty box. Yeah. And then I drilled out the hole and put the bathroom fans on it. Right?
Yeah.
And then you know what's funny? I put two you know those hooks for like your car keys or something you peel off the back. It's an adhesive, and then you just stick it onto the wall.
Yeah.
And it's like a hook, right?
Yeah.
So I got two of those, and then the airbrush is kind of like a T shape where the handle is. Yeah. So then you just lay it on the thing, and then it's like an airbrush holder on the side of the box. But sorry, I hate building it.
We're supposed to minimize swearing, but you know what?
Doesn't matter.
I think today is like, you know, it's like middle of semester. It's coming up on reading week for both of us, and like just, you know,
reading week is it's a 1 week off thing that occurs here only, I think. I'm not even sure.
I think it's across the province. I think they get it in like the rest of Canada too.
Oh, okay, I see.
I need to ask my friend who's in Nova Scotia, but like,
forget that noise.
You're supposed to use it to study for your midterms, but no one does. Everyone just takes it as like spring break before spring break. Boop, boop. You know, it's just like,
is there spring? You know what? We're getting too sidetracked.
Yeah, let's go back to let's go back to Pacific Northwest show.
Yeah.
PWNS.
No, it's PNWS.
PNWS.
Pacific Northwest. See. This is why we gotta call it the Vanpla show or something. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck the council will do, but quite frankly, at this point, I'm like, I shrug my shoulders. I feel like I'm that old guy. That sits in the couch and just sleeps.
Yeah, I feel.
You know,
I feel like
so.
All I do for Vanpla right now is I do this podcast and I yell at people in our Discord server to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Hey, follow the rules. Thanks.
Fucking hell. Well, I guess we can talk about the Pacific Northwest show. Overall, it went well. It went well.
You'd say it's a success?
I got the Griffin, so I'm very happy. Yeah. The Machine and Krieger Griffin.
Radio.
My only regret was bigger space, and the other thing is the tables. The tables were too small.
Are they like
not too small. It was just pushed to the side of the wall, so the judges can't actually turn your model kit to judge the back.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Like they don't have that at IPMS is really
IPMS have it
where you can walk around. And,
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the size of that room
is huge.
Is huge compared to the tiny.
PWNS.
Yeah. So if there are so many people inside, eventually someone's gonna knock off like the stuff, right? Like they're just gonna knock off the model kit by accident if there's not enough room, right?
Exactly. And God forbid that fucking happens.
Christ. Yeah. Well, it's all good.
It's part of the reason why I don't play 40K anymore. Is I had a very traumatic experience where I had like this old pewter Space Marine chaplain in Terminator armor.
Yep.
Wonderful sculpt, one of the best 40K models out there in my opinion. But I just super glued the arms on. I didn't pin them because I was like 13 and I didn't know what a pin vise was.
Yeah.
I didn't sharpen my knives either. I just bought new ones. But like,
was it a pain to?
It was. I was really proud because it was the first. You have that moment when you're like a kid like that and you're painting 40K, and you have that first model where you like thin the paints properly and it looks like an actually painted model. It doesn't look like these nightmare gobsmack things,
Gobsmack. Yeah.
And I was playing the game and I had him off to the side of the table to like deep strike him in, and he fell off, and both his arms like popped off. And it was like, when I repaired them later, the how super glue crystallizes,
yes,
that mark,
yes,
ruined my paint job.
Oof.
So, models falling on floor. Not fun, not happy. Although I did have an event at my place where there was a lot of commotion in our hallway and the heavy door slammed really hard, and I had a friend over and they posed my MG Origin Gundam dabbing, and when he fell off the case, the dab was like the perfect position to break the fall. So,
oh my God.
I mean, that wasn't so bad. That was kind of funny.
Well, at least it's a snap fit kit, right?
Yeah, that was my first master grade and the first kit that like I panel lined with like markers and put the stickers on and stuff. And for a long while, it was my Instagram profile pic.
Oh yeah. I remember
now my
that.
new Instagram profile pic is another Gundam that I'm never gonna finish because we cleaned my space.
You gotta be more positive, man.
Literally, I cleaned my space and oh wait, no. Oh my God! I thought I lost it, but now I know where it is. Hey, welcome to the Vanpla where we have like unintentional like bouts.
The fuck's wrong with you? Stay
positivity.
on topic. God damn it!
I know. I'm trying to.
Well, speaking of
staying on topic,
I guess we should now talk a little bit about what happened yesterday.
Yeah,
we were at the IPMS swap meet. If you guys don't know what IPMS is, it's not IPMS. It's not like some abortion clinic or like whatever.
What the what?
Where
does this come from?
Sexual health clinic. Sorry, not abortion. Jesus Christ.
Can we cut this out?
IPMS is International Plastic Model Society, not IPMS.
Okay.
I think PMS. From what I heard from Derek, IPMS was coined before PMSing was an official term.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of one of those horrible accidents where if you go like IPMS, you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But it's a plastic model society where they build all things. And by all things, I mean just ships, tanks, and planes. But they also build a lot of mecha stuff, too.
It's that classic military boomer scale modeling where
you're gonna call everybody in the thing a boomer.
I absolutely love them though.
Yeah, like, they are.
You look at the builds and they're really good quality.
Of course.
And I mean, there's a stereotype in the community for the judges to be rivet counters, where like if you didn't put 15, you put a 17 rivets on this turret ring. Points off, they one thing that IPMS competitions definitely are different from
a regular like Vanpla show or something like that, or like a typical Gundam competition like GPWC. The difference is they care of the most important factor for them is the technical portion.
Exactly.
I think this comes from the idea that you initially, when they build tanks and models and planes, the conception was like, okay, these things are real things. So what we must do is, in order to judge it, we have to judge also technically your historical knowledge about how many rivets, example, right? Rivets are on this piece of panel, right?
Yeah.
And what reference photos do you have to back up this type of modification on this type of tank? And then depending on that modification, it would mean that a certain unit of that tank only operated within these regions, right? An example is definitely the easiest one to identify is color scheme, right?
Yeah.
And then secondary is equipment, and then third is crew, right? And then, so if they have the power to contextualize the historical setting without vignettes or dioramas.
Yeah.
That's why they put technical and utmost importance. Fast forward to now.
Yeah.
Fucking Gundams are popping off everywhere, and they're like, what is this shit, right?
Yeah. I think
I know that. I know the. You know what? I know those. Those Gundam guys.
Yeah.
They're called those Gundam guys because I heard like IPMS folks were like, oh, it's those Gundam guys, and then that's just what they became.
That's sick though. Like honestly, like that's a really
funny name.
Yeah. That's a great way to get your name
out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's it's kind of crazy now that IPMS Vanpla works very closely with them.
Yeah.
They're very nice people, very accommodating.
Very nice.
Yeah. And the judges are like a mixed bag sometimes. For the Gundam category specifically and the sci-fi. I've been a judges multiple times over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I do champion like the liberty that the builders do to enhance something. Like that's the issue, is like a modified model kit, if not done properly, will get less points than out of the box build, right?
Yeah.
And that's pretty tragic, I think. And that's why I think there needs to be some change in the IPMS like ruling system for Gundams. I don't know enough about aircrafts and tanks and ships to even make a case assumption to tell them to change it. But recently there have been talks. I went to a IPMS meeting some time ago during the last year.
Yeah.
With one of my friends, Isaac. So he during the competition there was a very beautiful like helicopter that was built.
Nice. And
it was painted very well. But the thing is, it didn't match up like any, like I think like some aspect had like one little painting mistake error.
Yeah.
And it lost against to like this out of the box like build. But everybody was obviously disappointed because you see a spectacle and then you see a perfected model kit that's out of the box, right?
Yeah.
So it created a lot of tension, and right now maybe they're trying to like revamp the criteria. I'm not sure. I don't really care. But going into those competitions, it's definitely least mistakes win.
Yeah.
And when Vanpla judges, we try to go with the rubric, but we have been talking about them like saying like, oh, you need to change your rubric to better fit this stuff, because Gundams is so stupid. It's like, if you build a Gundam and then you do a maintenance base, people will be like, oh, is this Jaburo, or is this like before Ibawaku? Is this on the white base? Is this on the moon? Nobody fucking knows, right? You can't just build a Gundam and then expect hanger and know exactly when this occurred on the show, right?
Yeah.
And then, nowadays a lot of people build Gunpla, they don't even watch the show. So
I don't.
Like, you know what I mean? They build the Gunpla, they don't watch the show, and then they make the Gundam, and then there's no historical context to back it up, and that's why I think the criteria doesn't really work too well with Gundams.
I think the thing for me that like I always wanted to enter into IPMS is that like really, it's like as an artist when you do life drawing and you've got a really good life drawing teacher.
Yeah.
You're really focusing on the fundamentals. keeping the head and the like torso into proportion, how to like draw hands and feet properly, and once you understand that like stuff, you go and you tweak the formula. You're able to like, you can just judge it by your head how to do. Once you know the rules, you can break them.
Yeah.
And you know how to break them properly to make like a great piece of art. And that's why like people who work in animation, like I've got friends who do animation and they do tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of gesture drawings.
Yeah.
Like and that's the thing. Is
there's no excuse for poor fundamental skills.
Exactly.
I think that's
for me, IPMS.
Important. If assuming you're building for competition, if you're building for competition, I go back to what I said before, and it's just that like if you build for competition, you go into it. There is a rule book that you must play by.
Yeah. My point that I was going with that was just, IPMS is like the life drawing where you learn how to properly build something, and then GBWC or the other Vanpla places are where you take what you learned doing properly and you push it to its limits.
And it's not just the technical limits, it's also about creativity.
A big problem I hear from my friends who are trying to come up with like serious contender GBWC ideas is how do you get that creative story? Because if you look at who wins GBWC like over the world, is the diorama tells you just look at it and you can tell what the story is.
Yeah. I've been through years and years of that arena.
Exactly.
So
a lot
of them, what you can do is first you have two options.
Yeah.
Well, technically three. Your first option is what has been done before in terms of literature. What do I want to look at? Yeah. So a very easy one, a very popular one, is like especially in Southeast Asia actually.
Yeah.
Over the years you see them and they're actually just Gundams, but the way that they're built is to look like a deity.
Yeah.
A god. A specific god. Probably a very well-known god in that arena, in that region, right?
Yeah.
So it puts things into perspective. It's like if GBWC is really what it is, it's like G Gundam, right? Where G Gundam may have like stereotypes of mobile suits, but the builders who build it come from a genuine place, right? It's not like G Gundam, because G Gundam is made by Japanese people and what their like stereotype concepts of like what the other countries are.
Yeah.
But in terms of GBWC, it's not like that. It's the builders there actually building their own mythos, right? So they got the deities.
Yeah.
And then after you have the deities, you can also now do like a pet thing. Right now, recently, it's been really popular. It's just like a fancy Gundam.
Yeah.
With the same color schemes as their pet. Like dragons.
Gotcha.
Ravens, right? I remember first you either create your own concept, completely original, maybe loosely inspired by something very popular in sci-fi literature. Like Blade Runner is a very popular one. Yeah, people love doing cyberpunk, the Tachikomi kind of stuff, right? It goes into shell stuff, and then Pat Labor stuff as well. And then the second thing is you can do based on a deity that exists within the country's culture, right?
Yeah.
So Thailand loves to do that stuff. Southeast Asia mostly likes to do that stuff. And recently, what's really popular is the Gundam themed robot, like animal spirit thing. Nice. And then like a giant dragon head will show up, right? Like a robotic one.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of them, but recently I don't know. I've been feeling Like I have Gunpla Fatigue or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
I know what you mean.
I've been complaining about it to everybody I know. I'm like, oh, I'm having Gunpla Fatigue, and it's because every day, you wake up, you check social media. If your interest groups are Gunpla, you just keep looking at it, and then you look at people's nicely painted builds, and you kind of just you brush them off.
Yeah.
Not that they're not good. It's just that I've seen this before in some variations. You know what I mean? What's the general mods? Okay. All right. So this is how I categorize them. Beginners love doing snap fit builds and just posting them in cool poses.
Yeah.
And I believe that's fine. Oh,
there we go. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
no there you go. All right. So beginners.
Snap fit.
Yeah. Beginners really like to do just like post their build, being genuinely very excited about the hobby, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And then a bit up from that is when they start dabbling with paints, doing a bit of hand painting.
Yeah.
But they love going for metallics for some reason. I don't know what their deal is with goddamn metallics. It's either Citadel, like copper or something like that.
Yeah.
On like dark gray, like IBO plastic.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. Guys, please stop. It doesn't work. It just looks... I don't know. There's something so disgusting about how that looks. And I don't want to call anybody out.
When it's layered on really, really thick.
Yeah.
You lose all the details in it.
I think a very important thing is they're trying to like figure out how to put on proper colors. But the thing is they're using the wrong products, right? Yeah. Copper doesn't look anything like the Mr. Hobby series of metallics at all. The Citadel, I think, metallics are meant for more grungy, down to earth, like
the pigments in them are larger.
Yeah. And you can definitely see the more kind of a glitter shine, right?
Exactly.
More than a smoother pigment shine.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I'm not gonna give. I mean, I just gave them shit for it, but it's not a huge deal.
We're not
but I definitely
names,
but I definitely see it a lot, and my brain just goes to fucking outer space every time that happens. And then like the intermediate level, then you have the out of the box builds that are painted nicely.
Yeah.
But then I see that all the time.
Yeah.
Like everyone's getting pretty good now on the internet. But my brain just fries. It just fries. It just fries completely. And then if I look at the advanced stuff, they're doing crazy mods and with putty work. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't see those posts enough to get excited about anything, right? And then, there's something about the way Gunpla is painted that I'm just having the worst time with right now. And I feel like I'm being I'm burnt out a little bit. Honestly.
I think for me, coming from the 40K background, coming into Gunpla, it's like even the way you paint vehicles, it's like different, because it just feels like, sure, you've got a Rhino, which is like a little metal box, but there's enough, the shapes are broken up enough that you're not painting the same thing, and it's like, whereas if I'm painting, say, like a GM2, or if I'm painting something like, like I really
what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that, like, you can, like, the way you hand paint and the way you spray paint and airbrush and stuff, is it all has a very similar look, but the look, it, like, you just want something different at this point.
But then the color is pretty same too. Same.
Exactly.
Because everybody's using the same products, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's either Gaia's, AK's, Vallejos, Mr. Color. I mean, you can make any colors using those things, honestly, but a lot of people just use them out of the jar, right? Because it's convenient.
Exactly.
It's quick, and the undeniable truth is that a lot of people who do Instagram stuff and they post daily, they either dedicate a lot of time on their hobby, but I don't have that kind of time.
No.
And I can't post every day, obviously, right?
No.
But the thing is, if they do stuff like that, where they have to post every goddamn single day, then they have to do something where they either bulk pre-mix their stuff, or they have a lot of time to pre-mix and take their time, or they just use stuff right out of their bottle, right, to save time. And honestly, that happens pretty frequently, right? Yeah. So right now I'm just chilled out. I think I enjoy looking at other types of art. Right.
A problem too with Instagram is you don't know how much of that photo is edited. Like,
that's true.
Using like lux, structure, sharpen, you don't know how much of it is done natively in Instagram. And you don't know how much of it
they
is
do
done.
Really change up the way your picture does look.
You can make something out of the box look like kind of painted, like in that you can make it look clean.
Yeah.
And
that's why I think there's so much value, as we talked about yesterday, looking at the model kit in real life. And I think that's why it's so important to show up to, I don't know, maybe your local IPMS or your local hobby group if there are people out there with the same hobby as you.
Exactly.
If you want to see genuinely good builds, maybe try to look at them in a real life context, because in real life your only judges are your eyes and maybe the lighting of the venue.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Exactly.
People really do love to look at the glorified photos that they see on the internet, right? But if I know that a lot of them look good, but I know there's a fucking orange peel, buddy. Like, you're not fucking hiding that shit. No matter how much you fucking edit it, I can see it.
Exactly.
And I got a feeling that because you don't know this basic orange peel problem, then that would lead to you not knowing. I would presume that you don't know other ones, right? So it's kind of
it's loaded.
It's loaded. Yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces, but that's just how the nature of social media works anyways.
Personally, I'm trying to find my own style when it comes to painting.
That's also another topic, which is I recently built something that looks nothing like my style, right? The double Zeta.
Yeah.
That is definitely not my style. I definitely see what my style is like, turning into. But finding your own style, is that a good thing? Do you think it's a good thing? Or do you want to be like a jack of all trades, right? Because that's my kind of mentality as a you right, as an artist, right? You have your distinct style when you do your inking, right? But is that something that's good, or is it good to explore other avenues and constantly change up your style to see if it's good
that's
or not,
just
right?
like a topic in art and writing in general. Is like, are you trying to innovate, or are you trying to make something good?
But
and some
can it
days,
be both? Can it be both?
Some days you want to innovate. Sometimes you want to, make good. Sometimes you do want to do both. But it's like, you really need to know what you're doing.
I always felt like those two things go in
the best.
They must go in tangent in order to create something interesting.
Exactly. The problem is a lot of people, I feel, just kind of look at the robots in the show, and they look at the robots that other builders do, and they just think, I have to do that. And they don't look at the number one thing that I always try to do as an artist and in school and stuff is I always pick projects to push me out of my comfort zone. Because if I don't do that, I'm not going to improve. I'm not going to innovate. I don't want to be the guy drawing mediocre robots all the time. I want to push out hey, let's draw a seaside village and like actually make it look good in perspective. Hey, let's draw like, you know, this character and draw her as like something I don't.
I totally understand that mentality.
Exactly.
It's very. It's the same with scaled modeling, right?
Exactly.
You always want to try building out other stuff. That's why I felt that it was such a breath of fresh air.
Exactly.
When I built like things like the Mecha Godzilla.
Exactly.
Right.
Like
build Machine and Krieger. Right.
See, I do a lot of real robot stuff, and like I know when I like paint the Leo, it's gonna be like, you know, Matt, Nathan, and I set a color scheme for ourselves, so I'm gonna use that palette. But next color scheme, you know, I want to do something like pastel colors. And like nicer and more poppy animated, you know.
But the thing is, if you make things like that, then you don't become a person with a distinct style, right?
Well, not really, not the way that I'm thinking of doing it,
right?
Which is a you know, like the way I'm thinking of doing it is very much like actually looking like it was drawn with pastels.
Okay.
And like those
I get it.
Like,
okay, so you're trying out different techniques, different
mediums, different. I want to make different pieces because when you branch out and you go into different, that's where that's like you're not going far out into your comfort zone where you're having a panic attack trying to do anything, but improvement and greatness always comes when you hit that like middle ground of you're just outside of your comfort zone, but you still kind of know what you're doing, right? You know? Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm looking to do is just...
I guess I shouldn't say that just because you try something different, it won't be your distinct style. You know what? I've seen, in terms of Gundam, my default distinct style, not mine, but how I define distinct style, or the most common way people distinguish themselves, is the way they paint their model kits.
Yeah. Not
by their mods.
Yeah.
But you know, a builder-centric person would modify the proportions into their own liking, right?
Exactly.
And that would be a distinct style too, right? Exactly. Which is a completely different thing. But also, the subject that you're building and the context within you're building it is something that's, I guess, important to me when I do a type of group build, just like the one we had at the show. Yeah, the one we had for the show. So the Double Zeta, I came with like the fact like, okay, when I built that Double Zeta and I finish it, I think, can this look like it's from Build Divers?
Yeah.
And you know, the details, I didn't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
Because it would just turn too detailed and it won't look like it's an animation style.
No.
I want to make it so that it looks like a Bandai kit, right? And that was the goal.
Yeah.
And you know,
you did a phenomenal job of that.
Thank you.
You know.
Yeah. But you know, I try to keep that in mind while I do it, right?
Exactly.
And not take any kind of artistic liberties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's that distinction, right? Where you're working towards satisfying a certain criteria that a collective needs or wants, versus what are you making that's truly innovative and truly unique on your own, right? And I feel like maybe I'm having such a crisis is because I haven't found this style that I'm looking for. I'm still in development.
Exactly.
And you know, there's a lot of room to grow. And then I see real artists, real quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
Like people like Takeshi Palm. Like if you look at his artwork from like 10 years ago, it looks fucking nothing like what he does today, right?
Yeah.
So he's constantly pushing, constantly innovating. But what is it about him that makes him him, you know? It's kind of, you know what it also is?
Yeah.
It's like talking about Kanye.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like Kanye's albums, you know? Like for me, I think Late Registration, My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy.
Yeah.
And his first album,
College Dropout.
College Dropout, yes.
Yeah.
I think those are his holy trinities.
Yeah.
But then I know there are people in the back, you know, people out there that will never agree with what I just said, right?
My favorite Kanye album is Graduation Day, you know.
Yeah.
But that was at the age when I was like really experimenting.
Gold Digger was on that one.
Gold Digger, Stronger.
Stronger. Yeah. No, Stronger was not on that one.
Oh, it wasn't?
It wasn't. Stronger was something else. But all I know is listening to that, you know what I mean? Like Kanye's constantly pushing, constantly innovating. Every single medium that we ever seen always constantly has to innovate in order to keep public interest, right? But to what point do you innovate so that it becomes artistic and not like a corporate product, right? So I'm thinking about all these different ideas, and I guess I haven't really structured it in a way where I can really get an definite answer.
And this is a very big struggle that a lot of artists deal with is finding your own voice, finding your own style.
Yeah.
Like I know what I'm very good at is like, you know, I have classmates in class who are like trained as like animation concept artists, and their pencil work is beautiful, light, wavy stuff, you know, or like people who do like very bright, vibrant colors. And then there's me who does like very technical, grounded, like I build things when I draw, basically, you know, like if I'm going to draw my own robot design, I'm going to think of, where would the engine go? Where would these belts be? You know, like, and just.
So you're building, you're applying real life logistics.
I'm applying, exactly.
Placements into
and that
your fictitious thing.
Exactly.
You're working on, right?
That affects my style and the way that I draw with a brush pen and with a pen and nib. You know, the thing is with pen and nib, it's like my style has gotten even more detailed, you know, because like tiny lines, and then I go in with like my ink washes and that stuff, and like, you know, very grungy still.
But then also that creates the problem that I think
another big
models in general have this issue, especially the real stuff like tanks. The reason why color modulation, black basing are used in such an extent is because the model has to look good.
Exactly.
It has to defy the real colors of what the actual model kit is in order to make it look appealing. Thankfully, Gundam doesn't have this problem when you're doing the basic Gundam method, because Gundams in the TV shows aren't that detailed. It's not real life.
Exactly.
So
but
maybe that's why, you know, weathering on Gundam is such a subjective thing that I think a lot of people haven't come to terms with on exactly how one ought to weather.
Well, it's just like you got to think about like
it's a Gundam's a huge machinery.
They're like 18 meters tall.
Yeah. The out of the box high grade kit is not going to capture the details of an 18 meter.
Think about this. Right? If you're going to build think about the work that goes into weathering like a 1/35 scale T72. You know, and how subtle it all is if it's really done properly. And then you take that 1/72 T72 and you scale it down to 1/144. That thing's only like the size of a Zaku's foot or thereabouts. You know, and
that's fucking crazy.
And then you scale down the subtle weathering with it,
right?
And that's why like it's so easy when you're building Gundams to make like things look over weathered and like shit, right? I mean, lack of a better word.
And shit.
Yeah.
I mean, even shit you have to put in perspective. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's a very difficult subject to tackle.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people are still building the way they are. It's because at the end of the day, it's like your style it's a work in progress forever. Yeah. But I definitely see, you know, like I'll give an example, like Moki Mats.
Yeah.
Right. He paints in a very distinctive style.
Yeah.
I can tell it's him.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, like.
Or there's
you know, his weathering is also like
very specific
to his taste.
Crucible Garage, you know, another guy, similar area of the world, very distinct style. You put his stuff next to Moki's, they look really different, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's just those. I'm not sure if they are completely conscious of their style. I'm pretty sure they know their preferences and build what they like, right? But I feel like Moki Mass especially, he used to do a type of shading where he basically takes the whole kit and like I think he paints black underneath and then lights like white on top,
and that's
so it's creating his distinction, right? So he started off like that, and I think he went to black basing now, and he's doing more liberal type, so he's constantly innovating, you know. But I don't know, I guess we just gotta keep going and see where it leads, right? But
exactly.
But you know, how do we define a distinctive style?
I think
right?
when you do more builds that, you know, it's like when you do more projects that are out of your comfort zone and you come back to your comfort zone, like after a while away from it, you come back with what you've learned and you're able to make what you like that much better.
Yep.
You know, like when the best thing for drawing robots for me was drawing people. You know, because once I knew how to like, here's how you make a foot not look off in perspective. Here's how you like, you know, like different drills to like, you know.
So you're talking about how the human anatomy's positioning can help out with.
The thing is once you learn how to draw the human anatomy, and the thing is, it's like we recognize the moment anything's off with that, because
it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Ian King, shout out to him. He was talking about how if you paint a face.
Yeah. Exactly.
You will tell something is wrong.
Exactly.
You know, if it's poorly done.
If the eyes are not in proportion, you know, roughly like.
I was so pissed when shout outs to Brian and Michelle. They're very nice people.
Yeah.
They helped me build hand brush my little miniatures.
Yeah.
I had a fucking stroke when I had to do the eyeballs because one eyeball was bigger than the other, and I freaked out. I was like, this looks like shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then, you know, I had to like go back and do it. I redo it, right? So,
but like, you know, my point is, once I learned how to like stretch and like make the human form, you know, recognizable and make it not look uncanny and look presentable, then with that knowledge that I had, my imaginary objects became that much more representative and in proportion and stuff. And I think I've kind of been rambling a lot today because you know,
you're pretty sick too, so your head's not all there, and neither is mine because I'm very hungry. But it's okay.
Well, we'll go to Duffins later and we'll fix that. Shout out to Duffins if you guys are in Vancouver area.
You're a Duffin shill. I won't be surprised if you're an employee or something.
They actually don't need me to shill for them. They're always bumping.
That's exactly what a shill would say, you hack fraud.
Nah, for real though. Bandai Kotobukiya, hit me up and I'll shill for you guys. I won't. They won't. No, not I won't, but they won't hit me up. But like my point that I'm rambling on is innovation and like making something good. You need to find how to bring them hand in hand, and you'll only do that by like pushing them off, you know, in like increments and depending on how much time you have to put into it.
Right. I think a very good way to think about this is I think a true distinctive style is when you build things that look extremely different. Exactly. But there's something that you might not even be conscious of that you do subconsciously. Yeah. That other people can see.
But you don't.
You don't
see it when you're making it.
Yeah. And you know, I'm not a person to love like re-looking at my old work.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, oh, seam line there, scratch mark there, flash mark there, decal there. By the way, the decaling for the Devil's Zeta was a fucking horrendous nightmare. It was like, I don't want to talk about it. That's why I was so ashamed. I was like, oh God, my Microsolve, I think it expired or something. There's no more vinegar inside, you know, it won't melt the decal. But I feel like maybe a truly distinctive style is just something that you do that you're not conscious of.
Exactly.
And maybe those imperfections, maybe it's an imperfection that makes you, you know, and maybe that's what makes something maybe so charming, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by Gunpla is freedom.
Yeah.
I think that's how it should be analyzed and seen as. Not you can get away with flash marks and seam lines just because you say, you know, use that quote, but
exactly.
Yeah. I
really agree.
Yeah.
I'm kind of faded though, but I agree.
You know, there was another one I want to talk about. It's just that like beginners.
Yeah.
So over my years looking at like doing panels on how to build model kits, like beginner's guide, right?
Exactly.
Looking at all these beginner's guide, and I think a lot of the beginner's guides that I've seen on YouTube don't really talk about this, or even like if I read a blog post, people tell you how to make your model kits look better, or like a beginner's guide on cutting and making sprues and stuff like that, right? One thing they never tell you, and a very important thing, is your mindset.
Yeah.
When you come into a hobby. And the first thing you have to establish immediately, I think, is okay, I'm investing my money into making these stupid fucking robots, right?
Yeah.
So what am I trying to get out of it at the end of the day? What skill do I want to walk out of this hobby with?
Exactly.
And keep for life, right?
It's like the tutorials explain you the how and the what, but you need to
come up with why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to. So one thing that I've seen, just like a quick thing. Yeah. One thing I've seen a lot of these beginners do is they buy a kit from their childhood.
Yeah.
Or something that they've seen from the show and they really like. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
What I am not fine with is their mentality in saying, I want to make this look real good.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, that's impossible.
Yeah.
It will never. Your very first model kit will never look good. I think it's just coming from the fact that even if you are tutored and you do everything yourself, the technique finish won't be good in a setting unless your goal is to make something like a snap fit build. Yeah, that's fine. You can make a really good looking one. But if you're saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to modify that, I want to print my own custom decals, I want this thing to look like a pre-shaded thing like this one I've seen on Instagram or something like that, let me just say that's impossible. You have to live with that. You have to say, personally, I think the beginners must understand that just because it's not possible, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try.
Yeah.
I've seen way too many times where they're like, oh, I don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
You will mess up.
Yeah. Everyone does.
Everything does. You can't just study calculus and then do all the problems correctly immediately. That's impossible. It's a trial and error process. Everything in life is a trial and error process.
Leonardo da Vinci was not painting the Mona Lisa when he was starting out.
Yeah.
You know, Michelangelo did not paint the Sistine Chapel when he was just starting out, you know. To get to those places, to get to where you are
there's grit, there's dedication.
Exactly. Yeah. The one phrase that sticks with me is the master has failed more times than the beginner has even attempted.
Exactly.
And you
have to fail.
You have to live by that.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember my first kit.
Yeah.
It was atrocious.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I went back to my parents and I saw the first high grade I ever built. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, this is so nice. And it's covered in nubs. And there's like bits missing. And it's just like, oh man, this is rough.
You know, I think the worst thing in the world is if they build something that they really like and then
it doesn't come out how they wanted it.
If it doesn't come out the way they wanted it,
and then they feel dejected.
Yeah. And then they leave the hobby.
Exactly.
So it's a vicious cycle, you know?
Yeah.
And it wastes their time.
Yeah.
So I just want to let the beginners know that fail harder, fail faster, fail immediately. Please do it. Fail some more. I don't know. Just fucking fail, dude.
And like,
just fail first.
Do not be dejected by your failures.
Don't see your failures as a stab in your throat.
Yeah.
Or that it's the end of the world. You're building fucking robots for fun, but don't expect, to have glorious results your very first time.
It's just like
everything's a learning experience.
It's like me being a powerlifter. You think I was pulling 400 pounds?
Yeah, you think a fucking skinny like Asian kid can like deadlift like a plate? That's impossible.
Yeah.
When they first start out, it's a progress.
You just got to go back.
Yeah.
You're not going to make every single lift.
Yeah.
If you do, you're not pushing yourself hard enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And exactly,
Yeah. I just hope that, beginners do hear this. I think it's
I hope
they
get through this far into the podcast from like our tangents at the beginning.
Yeah. But I think it's very important to let them realize that. And, over the years of those panels that I've done, I've seen so many come and go just because they're like, oh, this isn't what I signed up for. And I'm like, okay, that's good. Now right? Come back another time if you're feeling ready.
Exactly.
Right? But you will fail.
And it's to be okay with that failure.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we want to talk about?
The other thing is
the meet at RC Pit Stop.
I didn't go.
Neither did I.
Moving on. Yeah. So Vanpla, we have monthly meetings.
Yep.
And Vanpla, this time they went to RC Pit Stop. Those guys, I've only been there like once or twice. They're very nice people.
The problem is getting all the way out to Langley.
Yeah, but there are Vanpla members out in Langley, so I guess that's a good thing. Yeah.
Langley, Abbotsford, better for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish, we could have like better, not even just like better public transportation options, but like, when they put the SkyTrain through to Langley, that'll be great. They'll turn like, they'll expand it so much.
That is something that will never happen.
No, they're building a SkyTrain out to Langley
eventually.
Yeah, they need to do
20 years.
They need to do the UBC one first.
Yeah, that one. I want that one.
Yeah, no, it'll be crazy that you will have.
Yeah, but right now there's like some major stops right now though.
It's right? I can go. I know a lot about it. Like I've been following this very closely, and but this is the Vanpla. This isn't the
this isn't the fucking transit bus train system of BC podcast. Yeah, but
hey man, if you guys leave a comment, like and subscribe, say hey Dan, talk about choo-choo
Don't
trains.
Tell them that. Don't insult my viewers like that.
Don't.
They're not
stupid.
They're
our viewers, Hayden. They're our viewers.
Spoken like a goddamn socialist.
No.
Oh God.
Now people will know which one is us because we've argued for the first time on the podcast.
Fuck. No way.
We agreed with each other for like this long. Wow. Next month we're going to...
You wanted to go on to our quick ranting segment.
Yeah,
we can argue.
Me argue with you?
Yeah.
I like Thunderbolt, and I think you're too hard on it.
I think 30 minutes aren't that good. This is a fighting. This is a dog fight right now.
Yeah. A good argument.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, fuck you.
I think
Xbox Live trained me for this.
Thunderbolt is just like I think one of the reasons why I hate it is because it breaks off the canon completely. There was a scene where like a bunch of like stupid child soldiers go like, "Oh, kore Gundam da!" Oh, and then they like start praying to it.
No, wait.
Yes.
They pray to.
Yes, they saw the Gundam and they like started bowing to it like it's some deity.
And am I this far into the manga? I haven't kept up with the manga.
No, it's a very early episode.
No, they're not praying to it.
Yes, they are.
They're not.
They are.
They're not.
They're praying respects. They're praying.
They're being like, yo, that's a Gundam. That's cool as hell.
No, they got on their knees and shit.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
I own that volume of the manga.
No, dude, that's stupid.
No, you know what? You know what's exactly happening right now? You heard that from someone.
I watched this episode. I watched it. They were "Oh my god, it's a Gundam." You're
being like my friend whose friends told him, "Oh yeah, Ego, like Star-Lord's dad, like impregnated a man, and that's how you got Star-Lord." Lol. And it's just like like, that's so stupid.
No, I watched the episode.
Oh my god, you're blowing out the mic.
I watched the goddamn episode. I was like, oh shit, no man. I don't know. It's not my thing. It's, you know what it is?
Yeah.
There's so much death. I feel like there is some glimpse of like humanity.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
But I just don't like how they present it. You know?
Yeah. And I get it. And I get it's a very
okay, you know what? The other thing I really hate about Thunderbolt is the suit designs are so stupid. Like, okay, who needs like 4 shields? Are you a Kshatriya?
Hey dude, it's space. Whatever.
Yeah, I guess it does make sense. The thing is, you know what I mean? It robots, breaks the canon now. It's Amuro needed a fucking shield and a rifle.
Here's the thing. Though.
What's Io Fleming doing?
Thunderbolt is not canon.
Is it not?
It's not UC canon.
Oh, it's like an alternate, right?
Exactly. The
manga
got
stupid too.
No, they
should have just made it their own setting. You know what I mean?
Like something like 00.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
Like,
wow, we went from arguing to like just like agreeing.
I mean,
UC has been so trotted upon that like
there's all conflict every year in the UC timeline. You know that, right? Every fucking year.
All the best UC Gundam stuff came out in the 80s and dried up in the early 90s. And after that, every time they revisit UC, I'm talking about Unicorn. Unicorn. It's more like Horn. Boop.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
The issue is also like the demographic is slowly changing. I feel like I'm a person being pushed out of the fandom technically because most of the people come in, watch Unicorn, right?
Yeah.
They watch the narrative movie, you know, the demographic's changing. People watch Build Divers and they come in, and I think that's great. More people to buy shit so then they can make more shit so I could buy the stuff that's niche and interesting while they buy whatever they want, right?
Yeah.
You know,
sorry.
Now we're going to talk about
30
Minute. So my issue with it is actually the way they package their products. It's so expensive. It's $30 for a base kit, right? But those upgrade modules are like $15.
It's right? $20 for a base kit, and it's like $8.
$8 for an upgrade module, right?
Yeah. So like if you go to somewhere like Metro Hobbies or like A3U, you know, for, I mean, but like,
I think Nathan's Kit Bash thing looks pretty good though. Is that his?
The one where he took the new space type and he put the Hugo head on it, so it looks like the Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a Cetralanthropus, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, looks good.
I like it. My thing with 30-minute missions is
they're interesting Greebly parts, though. I will admit that, but they're not.
The thing is you're looking at them in the context of, are these Gundams?
I don't. I'm not. I'm looking at them as a genuine robots, and I don't like the way they're detailed. They're very Kotoki centric. It's screaming.
It's not Kotoki. It's Ibikawa.
Screaming. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, no. Some proportions and the way that the pieces are fitted, the panel lining.
Yeah.
Is very.
It's
not Kotoki anymore.
You know,
it's people who grew up
with Kotoki
making their own shit now.
Exactly.
And I think it's like,
haha, James, his DNA is seeped into Gundam forever. You can't undo this now. Ha ha ha, you hipster.
Yeah, well, you tell James.
It's okay though, James. I'll buy you like some Krispy Kremes or something to make up for it.
I just don't think that it's.
And you know what?
Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. There's.
It's not really.
There's no. You know what it is?
There's no soul.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that, like, part of that is just like
realized.
You know what is, I like them because for me they're cheap kits that I can mess around with and experiment and, like we were just talking about, fail and not feel any guilt because there's no show around this.
Yeah.
What is a Porto Nova? Is it a giant robot or is it like a person-sized android?
It's the back of someone's ass crack. Got him. Oh, no, I'm jokes, but yeah. I think.
But like right. for me, it's just like it's like.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
The builders haven't figured out what to do with it yet. Maybe that's why I'm so unimpressed.
Just wait, I'm gonna finish some like gut bash shit.
I saw that T-Rex though. That was cool.
Yeah.
I gotta admit. I gotta admit. Yeah.
You know,
that's cool. That's cool.
You can take the little Roy's.
They're very good for kit bashing because their pieces are so similar.
Have you seen the little Roy's kit bashed into a Tachikomas?
Yes, I saw them.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Wonderful. You know.
But I really like the Tachikomas.
And they're basically 1/4 scale Tachikomas.
Yeah.
You know, you can do a really cool robot diorama with that. Me, right now, my big thing is I like kind of a kit bashing them with Full Metal Panic stuff.
They're very... yeah. They're like more 30-minute missions, like extremely
30-minute missions
though for Full Metal's Panic.
You can like
there's more panel lines. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Like 30 minutes really good with like imprinted greeblies.
My thing is what I want to do is, you know, like, yeah, for me they're just like they're robots that I can do like robot stuff with, and you know, do I feel like I'm doing some great mecha design any injustice by like accidentally messing up the legs and stuff? No, I don't. You know, do I feel like I'm having a fun time while I build them? Yeah, I do. You know, so yeah.
I know
it's funny. It's funny. Our argument segment is you yelling at me about things I like and me defending myself.
Hey, you yelled at
No, I didn't yell at you about Thunderbolt.
Oh, yeah.
You yelled at me about Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I yelled at you about 30 Minute too. Do you have anything to yell at me?
No, because I admire you and like you know, yeah, no, like you know, you're so much more into the building and like I view you as like a level above me, kind of, you know, in terms of buildership and craftsmanship, you know, like
I have been doing it longer, right? Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I am senpai, assistant to the assistant to the senpai, the sensei.
I am never gonna call you senpai.
Don't call me that. No, I'm
gonna call you senpai now.
Oh, fuck off. It's not gonna catch on.
Everyone start calling Hayden senpai.
Oh, God.
Don't cut this out, you little
gross.
bitch.
I'm not gonna cut it, but no one's gonna watch to the end, so don't worry. This segment never happened.
No, you know what? Like, could you imagine if we just like randomly, like in the 15 minutes before 5 minutes to the end, like when people are really tuned out and not listening to what we're saying, could you imagine what kind of shit we could get away with?
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious.
Right now we're trying to upload to a bunch of different platforms, so it's still a work in progress. We're still new at this. This is technically our fourth episode.
Is
it fourth? No, third.
Not counting episode 0, it's the third, but if you count episode 0, this is the fourth time we have sat in this room with our mics in front of each other.
Wait, are you serious?
I am serious.
Fourth. Wow, what?
Right? Time's flying, bro.
No way.
Yeah.
No, this is our third podcast, including 0.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. No, I was like, no, there's no way that we're on episode 3 already.
Very brief aside. Feel free to cut this out. I'm feeling kind of gas in the tank, and like I haven't had breakfast or coffee yet today.
Same. We hit our 1:30 mark.
We hit our 1:30 mark.
Way past it. So.
All right. So how about we just like?
I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So we talked a lot today.
Pacific Northwest. Very
Pacific
big
Northwest show. IPMS ruling.
Yep.
What it is to have your own style.
Yep.
Beginner advices.
Very rambly today, but
awesome. I had a great time. I felt like it was a discussion that only gave me more questions to ask.
Exactly.
Really.
My goal with like what I want to do with this podcast for you guys, is when I started building Gunplas. Excuse me, sorry. When I started building Gunpla, it was a very introverted, lonely hobby for me. And I started coming out to Vanpla meets. And we started the Discord server, and
I still remember that time. I was playing Metal Gear 5.
Yeah, and you were just like, "Yo, you're the Metal Gear guy, Dan." I'm like, "Yeah." And you're like, "What about this?" I'm like, "Yeah." But like, my goal is like, our meets are once a month, and I agree with you that we should, like make these like twice monthly.
It'd be good to keep up to date with
up to date with all the new releases and just like that, make sure that like when you guys are building, like you feel like you're building with someone,
yeah I really hope that people, well, my hope is that people can challenge their previous notion of what this hobby is, right?
Exactly. Push yourself. You won't improve if you don't.
It's not even just building, it's even philosophies, right?
The way you think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yeah. I think that this is a great hobby. It really pushes you creatively too. It's not just about building a Gundam, right?
Yes.
It's about there's a lot more eventually, right?
You're taking plastic from a sprue and you're turning it into something, even if you're just snapping out of the box.
Yeah. And I think there's that engagement, and exactly. I think that's what's so important. So
the reason why I love Gunpla so much more than like collecting statues or stuff is when I have my shelf of robots,
yeah,
and I have people over and they're like, wow, that's all cool. I can, hold my chest up high and be like, yeah, I did that. Even if like half of them are dog ass, I did that.
Yeah, that's still something that you can definitely say.
Yeah,
like it's just a process, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely a process. So with that being said, this is our work in progress.
Yep.
Hopefully more people will tune in the future.
Yep.
But for now,
thanks for sticking around.
Yep. We'll be back in the end of March.
Yep.
To do this once again. So hopefully maybe we have some new realizations and
exactly.
And topic pointers.
End of March.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold myself accountable. Next time we record this episode, the Leo will be done.
Ooh. All right.
Radio. Well,
I will count on those words, huh?
So thanks for tuning in to the Vanplacast.
Thank
I'm
you.
your co-host, Dan.
I am your other co-host, Hayden.
And have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, fuck.
Bye. Get out of here.
Peace out, dudes.
Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.